Hey everyone, welcome to our summer spotlight series tonight. We have an amazing guest speaking with us tonight. Just as a quick reminder, please turn on your cameras if you are able and mute yourselves when you're hopping on. Tonight we're going to be talking with Kellie Brown. She is absolutely incredible. I had the pleasure of meeting her at Winner's Circle and we got to have a really awesome picture with Mark in the background with us. And so, but she is a complete powerhouse. She is a firecracker. She is going to fill you guys up tonight. So Kellie, if you see a bunch of O's in the chat, that's just our way of loving on you and celebrating you and just people loving what you have to say. So we're just going to jump in and not waste any more of your time. If you could, Kellie, just kind of tell us your story, tell us your background and how you came to get in this business and just a little bit about you.
Okay, I'm excited to be with y'all. And as we're on, if you have questions, if you type them in the chat, and we'll try and catch those too. I started this business 6.5 years ago. My husband and I had just moved from Nevada to Texas in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have any extra time and any extra money to waste on something that wasn't going to help us, right? And that's how I thought when I saw this business on social media. And I was like, I do not do things like that. I have never been a selling person. In high school, I made my mom buy all my candy bars for cheerleading uniforms because I was so terrified. I'm like, you don't understand, I cannot do this. You know what I mean? And so, but I saw this opportunity and my friends were posting about it. And my husband's the one that convinced me. He was like, well, you'll never know if you never try. And he was like, and if you don't like it, you can always quit and say you did, and you never have to do it again. And so that's honestly how I ended up here. I started for $55 a month to pay for ballet classes. And I didn't even think I could earn that because I honestly thought people tried things from home and lost money. And so that's why I was so hesitant. And now this business provides everything for us. We had a third tiny little sister, and I was able to retire my husband and pay for our vehicles in cash and move us back to Nevada to be near family. And it provided last year to put my girls in private school and to be able to give more than we used to make in a year. And I'm just honestly still floored to even say that this is what I do. When people ask, so what do you do? I'm like, well, you want the short version or long version? Because honestly, I'm still shocked and we're going on 7 years. So, but I just couldn't be more thankful for, what this has done for us and what it's done for me personally. My mindset and who I am as a person has grown exponentially 10 times over, what I ever would have imagined something like this would have done in my life. And I just am so thankful to be here with y'all. And thankful the Lord kind of shoved me off the cliff and into this crazy business.
Absolutely. We are so thankful to have you here tonight. I think it's really interesting when a lot of people say, I was not like this. I was super terrified. I have kind of a similar thing. I was in FFA and my family, or the school does like a labor auction every year, and the people in the community will like auction off the students to do things for them. And I had my mom pay the school a check so I wouldn't have to get up there because I was so terrified. So I totally understand, but it's so interesting how this company and like this type of business, how much you evolve and how much you just really grow into yourself. And so I think that that's really incredible. So what would you tell somebody who's new, who feels stuck, who's kind of like in a rut in their business right now? What would you tell those type of people?
So I was thinking about this right before we got on, and it might be something, if this is something that I kind of say on a regular basis, but I just think it's the truth that we put a lot more emotion into this than it really needs. Panic and fear and, oh my gosh, what are people going to say? And this was me starting my business. So much more emotion into this than it really warrants. This is a job like anything else. It's a job. And I used to work at Starbucks for a few years, and I was a shift supervisor, and I loved it because it was very fast paced. I loved the regulars that come in. I loved everything about working there. It was one of my favorite jobs outside of ministry. And so I would work circles around people, and I didn't care that it didn't pay me more money. I just wanted to stay busy and keep going. So I'd be like doing everything. I'm everywhere, all over the place, right? But the trick is you could go in there and put minimal effort or a ton of effort. You still get paid the same. But the trick is you can't go in and do nothing, or you're going to get fired. You're not going to make any money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that simple with this business. We come in and go, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? I'm sweating bullets. Oh my gosh, what they're going to, be mean to me and all these things. And I do feel those things. They're valid feelings. But if you don't do the job, you're not going to get paid. The beautiful thing is you can't get fired because you're your own boss, right? Okay, so nobody's going to fire you, but nobody is going to pay you if you sit around caught up in your feelings. Do you know what I'm saying? Same thing with any other job. And there are emotional tasks and mechanical tasks in this process. And it's the most simple way that I can explain. The emotional tasks are when you're talking to a teammate and she's going through a hard time and you're connecting on an emotional level. An emotional task is when you write your story and you're trying to connect with your heart and tell people how you felt before this business and how it makes you feel now, knowing that you have hope. An emotional task would be when you're in private conversation with potential customers or potential teammates. You get those customers that send you like a picture of their belly and they're like, do you have anything for this? I feel so awful about myself, or a potential distributor that's messaging you about their fears and how they're introverted, and you're connecting emotionally and you're getting on the human side of things. Those are the emotional tasks. Everything else is mechanical. So when you're getting caught up in your feelings, is this going to work for me? I don't know. What are people going to think? I'm terrified of this and that. I don't want to ask people to host a post. That's scary. What if they're mean? I don't want to ask people to be a distributor. What if they think I'm an idiot? I don't want to ask people to be a customer because they've been unkind to me before. You're putting emotions behind something mechanical. Okay. Mechanical tasks are, I send my 35 host to post asks in 15 minutes twice a day. That's part of the job. Do you want to make money or don't you? You know what I mean? That's not to be unkind. I'm telling you though, that there will be teammates that'll get on our Zooms and comment in the chat and they'll say, anybody else scared to send host to post asks? And there'll be the other people that'll kind of pop in there and go, yeah, me too. I'm scared too. Valid feelings, friend. I'm telling you, those are valid feelings, but do you want to make an income or don't you? It's that plain, black and white. Emotional is when you're connecting to people. The rest is you're doing the freaking job, like cleaning the toilets at Starbucks. Okay, cleaning the floors, clean the toilets. Otherwise, you're gonna have nasty bathrooms, and people are gonna complain, and that's just part of the job. Do you want it or don't you? Host to post is just part of the job. I just talked to a teammate today. Her distributor. I went to her page and she wasn't posting, and I'm like, "Where did so and so go?" And she's like, "Well, she just doesn't really want to do host to post." Okay, she doesn't want to make money. Bye. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And so if you're caught up in your feelings, here's what I would say. You've got to look at this, separate the two. It's your tasks. You have to post. We get paid to turn on our open sign. You have to do host to post, or otherwise you need to be doing something that is rocking a ton of people into your inbox. And if you got another way, sweet. If not, host to post is going to get the job done. And then you've got to be connecting to people in some way. All the other tasks are awesome. Say happy birthday, interact on 25 people's doodads, ask people to do samples, ask people to join your team, ask people to da, 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 da. Okay, those are all very good, and sure, you can do all those things. But I'm telling you, if you do these simple little basic posts, do host a post. Ask the people that host a post, do they want to do it with you? That's it. Just keep going. And you're going to enroll people, but you have to separate the two, and don't get so caught up in your feelings. This isn't working for me. No, you're not doing the tasks. I mean, you know what I mean? And that can sound unkind, but it's the honest truth. You're just not doing the job. And you can't get upset at your paycheck. You know what I mean? Without doing what's required.
Yes, absolutely. I know that like it's so hard to keep motivated every day to do the things, but you're not going to see success if you show up on the days that you just want to show up, on the days that you're feeling good. So just doing the things. I've never looked at it like mechanical and emotional, and that's so great. Like, don't put emotion behind the mechanical tasks. Just do them and move on. So how do you, we all know that this is a process. You don't make $1 million overnight. You're not successful overnight. It's a process. You have to follow up. You have to do the things. You have to, me too. You have to just stay consistent. So how do you tell your newbies, like, you're going to hear no, and you shouldn't be upset about that. The more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get. You're going to hear no. So how do you talk to your newbies about just trusting the process and trusting all of these leaders that have done all of this work for us and proven that it works and just given us everything? And, because it's so hard, it's easy for us to say, because, when we've had success, it's easy for us to say, just trust us, trust the process. We know it works. Just do this, trust the process. But it's hard for them to comprehend it. So how do you help them to understand that it is a process and that they have to just trust it and just get all the no's that they can?
I think it's important. I say on a regular basis, I do a new distributor training every Wednesday night. So as newbies are coming into the team, this is something I'm saying every single Wednesday. No is not a bad word. It's not a cuss word. It's not a hurt your feelings word. It's not like, and initially in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, everybody is saying no. How is this ever going to work for me? Everyone's saying no. Okay. First of all, I would suggest the book Go for No. If anybody has not ever heard of that or not ever listened to it, not ever read it, I am not an Audible person. I like physical books to retain the info, but this is one that I would suggest on Audible. It takes you 2 hours to listen to it, 2.5 hours total. And it's a cheap book. I don't think it was, definitely not $10. And it totally changes. The first book I ever listened to for my business when I got started. And it totally changed the way I looked at the word no. And it's a fantastic book, not boring information. It's a story. And so if you're not a book person, you might like it. Okay, I'm just saying, I would strongly, with pink hearts, suggest that book. And it really has to do with the way you look at it. I said no 3 times before I said yes. If you're on here, the 78 of us, okay, and you said no before you said yes, would you type a 1 in the chat below? Before you said yes to this business, if you said no first, then thought about it and then said yes, type a 1. And you can see all the ones going in the chat. Think about it. If I get my feelings hurt over all the no's, look at all the yeses I'm missing out on. I said no 3 times. Stacy asked me, then her husband asked me, then her husband asked my husband, you think Kellie will do this? Will she do this with Kellie? Will she do this with Stacy? You think Kellie? I'm like, no, tell them I already told them no. You tell them I'm saying no. I don't want to. And here I am, stubborn old mule, right? Okay, so I can't tell you how many people say no first. And I go, okay, that's fine. If you ever change your mind, I'll be right here. I'm happy to answer any questions, and there's never any pressure. We just had this conversation in the kitchen the other day. I am okay with no because I'm not going anywhere. So I have people message me to order hair, skin, and nails from 2015. I'm like, girl, it took you this long to commit from 2015 to 2021 to 1 bottle of hair, skin, and nails. We got some issues. We got some commitment issues over here. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's fine because I'm going to be here in 2025. And I'm not concerned with all the no's. In fact, I feel like the more no's that I get, here's something else. The more no's that you get, the more people you have paying attention to what you're posting. Remember that posting is not planting the seed. Okay, for people to consider to join you. Posting is not planting the seed. Sometimes, once in a while, you will snag people that will enroll from your posts. Okay, having a conversation, asking them, that plants the seed. Then your posts water the seed. And then I'm not in control of the sunshine. That's the Lord's job. Okay, so asking plants the seed, posting waters the seed, and Jesus does the work, the rest of the work. Do y'all feel me on this? Yes, there's following up. I got some people I follow up with 16 times. Oh yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Okay, yeah, I'm still interested. Okay, message me later. Here goes message number 17. Hey friend, no big deal, just checking in on you. Oh, I'm still thinking about it. Oh, I still got questions, girl. I'm tired of your questions. That's fine. It's fine because 2025 is going to come around at some point, and here she's going to come knocking at my door. I need to make an extra income. Girl could have started 10 years ago and made you a whole bunch of money. It's all right because we're not going anywhere. And we know that no is not a bad word. It shouldn't offend you. No doesn't mean no, you dumb idiot. Why are you asking me these questions? It doesn't mean no, what are you doing, you scammer? It means no, I don't think that I would be good at something like that. 9 times out of 10, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. I wasn't saying no to Joey and Stacy. I love them. They're my friends, longtime friends. I wasn't saying no to them. I was saying no because I don't think I would be good at that. I don't want to try and put myself out there for something that I don't want to do or I don't think I'd be good at. That's what I was saying no to, not to my friends, not to you. They're saying no to doing the job because they don't know enough. Most people still think these things are a scam. It's old school thinking. You know what I mean? And it's come so far with social media. So you've got to give people some grace to consider it. Don't be like, nobody's saying yes. Nobody's saying yes. Girl, give them some grace. Did you all 78 people say yes the first time? No. Okay. So you got to give them a little space and then you do your job. You keep showing up. They're waiting to see if you're going to stick around, waiting to see what you do with this, waiting to see how you do it, waiting to see if they like what you do and would consider what you do. And they're going to read those posts and you're going to catch them on just the right day and reach out when it's a coupon code or a something moment and say, hey, just checking in on you, and snag those no's every single time. The more no's you get, it's like a funnel. The more, I'm making a funnel with my hands. Do you like this analogy or this example? Okay. The more no's you get going into your funnel, the more yeses you'll have consistently coming through the bottom. So I go for as many no's as I can. You say no, that's fine. Eventually you're going to say yes, or we're going to eventually part ways. That's the 2 ways this goes about it. I'm going to catch you on a host post. I'm going to catch you on a product post, or you're going to join my team. One of those 3 things, or eventually we're going to part ways. And I'm okay with that because there's 4,000 other people in my friends list waiting for what I have to offer. You know what I mean? So it's just how you're looking at it. It's not a bad word and it's not no you. It shouldn't be offensive.
Yes, I used to get so beside myself when people would tell me no, and I'd be like, okay, thank you. And now it's like, okay, well, I'll follow up with you in a week. Like I will literally follow up with people until they order, join, or block me. Like that's just it. So that it's just so hard for new people because like you said in the beginning, you know, we put so much emotion into this. It's such an emotional business. We put so much of ourselves into it that when somebody says no, we just take so much from that. But so what are you super excited about right now? You got the island, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's so exciting. So what are you excited about in business right now? What platforms are working for you to get these winner circles trips, to get, you know, be a top person in the company, to have such success? And, you know, what kind of tips would you give us?
I would honestly, okay. So it's a couple of parts answer. TikTok still works. Reels still work. Host to post still works. If you're questioning any of those things, they all still work. And sometimes what happens is we kind of get off of our track with our choo-choo train. You're blowing and going in boom season. Maybe July comes and you've had a lot happen. Last month was just a busy personal month, just birthdays and trips and this and that. Every single day we had something. I'm like, I can't control life and life is just going to happen. You know what I mean? And so maybe sometimes if you've gotten off track or you've been busy or whatever, you're trying to get your train back on. I want you to know that all those things still work. Okay. The trick with TikTok, it's not always duplicatable. Everybody can copy each other's videos and one person it takes off for them and the other person it doesn't. And I don't like that ratio. I can do it and enroll DTs. And then I tell my teammates, go do this video, and it doesn't work for them. Or it does work for some, you know what I'm saying? So I really like host to post for duplication. And remember, While you may be a bomb enroller, a bomb mass enroller, which you need to be, that's great. That's good if you want to mass enroll or you want to enroll your steps to success once or twice a month or whatever. Awesome. But there has to be duplication in this process. You've got to be able to grow your organization and teach people to do what you're doing. And I like that I can tell my team what I'm excited about is it's just so duplicatable. I can tell everybody, print out your friends list, which is at my house. I'm at Grandma and Papa's right now. I would show you my friends list. And I literally just go down my friends list and I ask 35 people. It takes 15 minutes on my clock to ask 35 people to host a post for me. I do that twice a day. Well, I ask 500 people a day. Well, very good for you. But I can teach my team to do what I'm doing by 30 minutes a day, asking 70 people to host a post for me, 2 15-minute increments. You can do that while you poop. You can do that in the car. You can do that. I mean, don't play. Y'all don't poop and work. Okay. You can do that in bed. You can do that when you wake up. 15 minutes, piece of cake. I can have my coffee quiet time, ask 35 people, go on about my day. And what happens is after 2 days, I've got people responding from the previous day. And then I keep going and I got people, Jamie, don't do that. You know what I mean? I can, the day before, I've got people responding to me the next day. And then it just kind of snowballs, and getting 10 haps up a day is easy from what's coming in from the previous day and what you're asking today. You know what I'm saying? And it's 2 15-minute increments, literally only 15 minutes, 35 asks down my friends list. However you want to go about it, awesome. If that's not working, I'm going to send this list in the chat. And the reason why I'm excited about this is sometimes everybody will focus on enrollments. Oh, we're popping and this person's mass enrolling and da-da-da-da-da. And sometimes in the summertime, people aren't as excited. Okay, well, can we focus on the tasks versus the enrollments for a minute? Because if we just focus on the actions, it's going to generate the enrollments you were looking for and that you kind of thought you couldn't have in the summer when you actually can. You know what I mean? It's just, what are you focused on? How are you looking at this? Perspective. I saw someone type in the chat. It's perspective on every part of your business. It's how you look at it. Well, this only works for some people. Well, I don't know. I'm from the trailer park. From single mom trailer park, grew up a poor kid. I never planned on making anything more than minimum wage or, whatever to pay the bills. From Oklahoma, middle of nowhere, nobody, nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's, can you be kind and can you work hard? You don't want to work hard? I don't know. I think it's worth it. So when you get stuck with host to post, this is what I send to my team. And you can say that if you want to in your notes or whatever. But I literally have to tell everybody, print out your friends list. Well, I don't do it that way. Okay, that's fine. But I'm just telling you this is what I do. So I go down 35 people, ask 35 people to host a post for me, 15 minutes. Okay. If I go down that section and say it's a dud section, sometimes that happens. You'll ask your 35 and I'm like, man, I got like 2 up. That's not very good. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to go post an interactive post. If you haven't tried the one about ketchup, like what do you dip your fries in and you can't say ketchup? Have you guys seen that interaction post? It blew up. Tons of people responding and messaging me. Do you know what fry sauce is? Do you know what gravy? Oh, I dip in gravy. Oh, I dip. Okay. So I'll do an interactive post and I message all those people for host to post. Then if I still don't get enough up, I'll do a giveaway in the same day, a giveaway post. Now I'm going to message all of those people for host to post. I should get enough by then. If I still don't though, let's say I've done all of those things and nobody will post for me. Honesty is the best policy, my sissy. Okay. Then you can go to all your potential loyal customers that commented on your host to posts. Ask all the potentials. They didn't buy your coffee, fine. They didn't buy your gummies, that's fine. They can still host a post for you. So just ask all those people to host a post for you. All the people that signed up as loyal customer, ask all those people to host a post for you. And then at last resort, I'll go to my stories and ask all those people to host a post for me. And you'll get plenty. So right now, I'm the most excited about duplication. I'm excited about telling my team, find one. Steps to success is the ultimate goal. It's what we want everyone to do. It's what I do every single month. But can we also just focus on the power of one? Because one person can come in and change your entire business. And you really don't want to let months go by without signing one DT at least, if not filling out your steps to success and getting the 3. And having everybody understand so that we can pick up the pace and push together and then get ready for boom season.
I love that. And something you said kind of falls into our next question. You know, everybody has life. Everybody has life happen. There's not one person that just has the perfect life and never goes through anything difficult, never goes through a busy period. But how do you work your business when you're going through life and when you're busy? And how can others work this business? Like, I mean, you kind of answered a lot of that with saying, you know, work while you poop, you know, work while you're on your way to the grocery store, do the little things in the little amounts of time that you have. But what advice would you give for working through busy?
So busy and life to me would be 2 different scenarios. Life to me is you have a death in your family, somebody gets cancer, somebody has a baby, that's a big life change. Somebody gets married, somebody's getting divorced. Those life kind of things, there's a lot of emotion behind those. So there's going to be a different grace for that. Okay, can I just remind you, nothing in life belongs to you, not your teammates, not your business, not your kids, I didn't give birth to my husband. While he belongs to me with this ring, he still belongs to the Lord. Okay. There is nothing that I can clench my fists and go, this is mine. It doesn't belong to anybody else. That's not true. So life is going to happen. Teammates are going to come and go. There has to be grace and you have to stay open-handed. You are not in control as much as you want to be. Okay. And so when big emotional things like that, you've got to, if you're the leader reaching out to someone on your teammate, you have to be reaching out with grace and love, not, hey, did you get your post up today? Hey, did you get your host to post asks out? Girl, I would scratch your eyes out. If I'm like, no, we don't do that. You can't do that. Okay. You have to lead with grace and you have to lead with love. And even for yourself, when there's life, I mean, I kept going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, on the calendar last month. I'm like, literally, I would say maybe 5 days out of the month, there wasn't something completely off the wall happening. Like it was just such a busy, I don't know. Anyways, so I got to go, okay, Kelly, doesn't mean that you are terrible at this, but you might not be able to run at 100% speed while packing up my 3 little kids and taking them all over the country 2 different times. And okay, there's got to be some grace in this. You're going to do what you can do when you can do it. I would say do not set your entire business down or you are going to regret it. Can you steal some posts and post every day? Yes, you can. That's what I did during pregnancies or having babies or whatever. I would steal posts and put them up. You know what I mean? Are you going to get your 70 hosted post asks out every single day? Probably not. Okay. But can you do that a couple times in the week? Could you do it once a week? What can you do when life is happening? Don't completely walk out the door and go, oh, I'll be back next month. Girl, your paycheck won't, and neither will your teammates. And you're going to be really upset, right? But there has to be grace in all of it. When you're busy, here's what I would say. If you're busy, which we're going back to school, okay, and that throws a wrench in everybody's schedule, right? And it changes your routines from summertime if you've got kids or whatever like that, or you're going back to work or going back to school or going back to whatever. The fall has, remember, we've got seasons in life, seasons like meaning summer, fall, winter, spring, okay? And with each season, there's a change. There's holidays, good grief. When we go into the holiday season and everybody's traveling for holidays, it's busy. So are your potentials. Y'all ever have somebody say, I can't tell you how many people, I wanted to choke these potentials, right? This last month, that's not good, right? But seriously, how many people were like, yeah, I'm going to sign up today. Oh, sorry, I'm on vacation, I'm traveling. I'm like, girl, you can't stop on your phone and sign up and it takes less than 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm traveling right now. so like put your name and social security number in the easy. No, just kidding. Okay. But there has to be grace in it, right? Can I just say this too? As you grow in your business, you're going to, your capacity for your business is also going to grow. It is hot in here. So I can remember a time where I'd be like, I'm so busy, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so whatever, I just didn't get to post today. Whereas now, where I'm at in my business, I'm like, that doesn't even stress me out. It just has to get done. It's like not oh, I don't have time. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, it's just part of the job. You just got to at least get your posts up, right? Your capacity grows as you go on. Do you want to be a diamond and above leader and have a comma in your paycheck? Okay, well, your capacity for your business and your ability to find the time to do it has to grow as well. Okay, to make the check and then to keep the check. You don't want to work for it and then disappear into the wilderness and come back and go, where's my diamond paycheck? Starbucks wouldn't have kept you on had you disappeared for 2 weeks. They would have fired your butt. You know what I'm saying? So life and busy, two different things. There's a grace and a emotional connection when it comes to life. When it's busy, you just need to find 15 minutes and ask 35 people. Quit trying to do like, I asked 500 people to host a post for me today, and ask your 70 people and get your 3 good posts up. You're going to enroll if you do that. So just do that. Focus on what you can do. Find your 15 minutes twice a day. And then what you can't do, sissy, leave it to the Lord. But you can't, I'm too busy for this and I don't have time for that. You don't got 15 minutes? Yes, you do. You do. And you just got to find it. And then there's got to be grace for you too. Grace for people, grace for you.
I love it. Everybody's saying the hair's going up. It's about to go down. So that is going to lead us to our last question. We just appreciate you so much being here. We don't want to take up too much of your time. I could listen to you talk all night long. And I know Tatiana is she's just like fangirl over here. I love it. So since you have your hair up, let's talk some tough love. If you could give any piece of advice on this business, what would it be? Or if you could say something to someone to snap them out of a funk, what would you say?
Tatiana, you're so cute. I was private messaging her, and then Alyssa, I didn't see that sign. You're so cute right now. Ooh, okay. So, you know, the way kind of that I go about this is tough love, but with love. You know how some people, my example is, I don't like listening to Grant Cardone. I don't like being yelled at. I don't like being cussed at. I don't like, you're not working hard enough, or you don't have your stuff together, or you don't. Now, some of y'all might like him. Yeah, see, Jamie, she likes it. I get it. I think a lot of reds, they like it. Like, punch me, get me, kick me, get me in gear. Give me that. I'm like, nah, you're going to shut me down real fast. So I always do tough love, but with pink hearts. And my girls always laugh because I'll go, okay, I need to send you some pink hearts. And then I need to tell you the truth. Can I just tell you? Let's talk about honesty, because this is a big question. I'm thinking like tough love for leaders versus not tough love for the people that aren't doing anything, y'all. That's just part of the business. Is it irritating? Sure. Are they collecting a paycheck for doing nothing? Sure, that happens to me too. Do you have people in leadership positions that didn't do the work to get there? Sure, we just talked about that today. Do you feel sometimes like people ride off of your efforts and that's frustrating to you? Sure. But are you having honest conversations with pink hearts with people? And I am like avoid conflict, kind of like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. If I really say what I'm really thinking, it would really hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody thinks it, but people don't say it. But you do have to have honest conversations with people, because sometimes, you guys, it's not intentional. Okay, so tough love for leaders is this: you have to grow in your ability to have the conversations. I had a conversation today with a leader who has a teammate who signs plenty of DTs and not a single one of them work. And the girl is frustrated, wanting to quit. She's a great enroller, that she's not leading the people, she's telling them what to do. You have to be self-aware in this process. Are you telling people what to do? Or are you connecting with them and teaching them how to build business? That's duplication. If you reach out to people and all you say to them is, did you get your post up today? Here's a good post for you to put up. Did you do your host to post asks? I did my 75. I signed an LC. And that's all you ever say to them, girl, I would quit your team too. Because I'm also a person. I also want to be my own leader. I also want to be successful. And you doing that is not teaching me anything. You're task listing me. And I don't need you to be my task list checkmark person. I need you to teach me what I don't know. What I do know is I can print out a task list and ask host to posts. What I don't know is how to communicate and keep the people I sign. So are you teaching? It's do and teach. You can't be a doo-doo head. That's what our pastor used to say in Texas. Don't be a doo-doo head, meaning you do, and you put your head down. I'm going to mass enroll because nobody else on my team is enrolling, and I'm just going to do this all by myself. And I get it. I feel you. I feel you. But if you put your head down and only enroll, you're leaving your people in the dust. And sissy, you don't want to be 70 years old, being the only mass enroller on your entire team and still having to do all the same tasks. Otherwise, you don't get a paycheck. I want mailbox money. Anybody want mailbox money? I want legacy income. And I've not been a money person, but this business has taught me a thing or two about being okay with making money and being okay with enjoying life a little bit. Okay, I'm not money hungry, but I'm saying we got to have it to live it. Okay. And I don't want to be 70 years old. Still got to get my steps to success. And oh my gosh, and host to post this. And I got to do a reel and I got to do a TikTok and I'm walking with my cane. Now, girl, I want to see of people that are building legacy money for their kids and their grandkids, and they're teaching their teams. Don't you want that? Well, if you're the only one that knows how to do this business well, and you're the only one that knows how to mass enroll, and you're the only one that's going to show up and do da-da-da-da-da, there's a problem with you. That's a problem with you. And it's also grow and at it. How to look at this. I'm growing right now. Can I tell you what my weakness is or where I'm growing? And I don't take up a ton of your time, but I'm excited. So excited about growing. It stinks when you feel like you see, like with a magnifying glass, and you see where you're making mistakes or missing something. You're like, oh man, you know what I mean? But I also go, fine. I don't know what just happened. Did I lose y'all?
We're back. Okay, we did lose you for a second, but you're back now.
Did you guys shut off too? Was that on my side?
Yeah, I think so.
It crashed. Okay, so talking about what I'm learning right now is I'm babying people too much. I'm like, oh, fart. I used to have this problem in the beginning of my business, and now here I am circling all the way back around to it. But that's going to happen. And you're going to come across hurdles that you go, I already learned how to communicate to people. Oh, I already learned layered leadership. Well, then why ain't it working right now? Because you circle back around to it and it's time to grow to another level in that area. And that can't be a bad thing. I'm babying people, meaning I'm doing their charts for them and I'm enrolling for them and I'm building them to diamond and I'm getting their, $100 bonuses for them. And I'm like, wait. Lord, why am I doing all this for somebody else on my 2.0? Why do I have people that maybe enroll enough to maybe go Ruby and they're in a double diamond position? because I'm being a doo-doo head. Kellie, these people can't, you know what I mean? You've got these people in these places that you're like, they can't go triple diamond presidential and whatever for you to go ambassador. They're a ruby sitting in the wrong seat. And sometimes there's place for that. And sometimes we do charts for people. And sometimes we enroll for people, and you take the window of opportunity and you go right through it. Absolutely. But you've also got to stop and be aware. Okay, I got to make an adjustment. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop and take a look at your chats. Is everybody dead silent in your message groups? Nobody is talking to you. It's dead quiet. It used to be popping. Now it's dead quiet. When's the last time that you went through and connected one-on-one with every person in the group? Well, I'm in groups with other leaders. Okay. But are you the head of the house? Are you the mom? Well, sometimes you got to get in there and you got to see your people one-on-one. I have 3 little girls. My girls, this is my analogy, okay? I don't know. My girls will say to me, today, one of them asked, I got to take one back to school shopping. The other one goes, well, why can't I go? Well, she needs some one-on-one time. Well, can we go on a coffee date? I have 3 kids. I'm with them all day long, okay? All day long. Yet they want one-on-one connection time. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to tell me what they think. They want to ask me questions that they think and not be interrupted. They want to be focused on. So do your teammates. You are the head of the household in your organization if you are the top of the chart. Are you stopping and seeing your people individually? Because if not, you might have a hard time thriving and going forward. Connecting with people makes you money, Reds. Okay. Sometimes Reds are like, I don't got time for that. I got to enroll. I get it. But you also don't got time to keep enrolling and get 70 years old and still be doing all the jobs all by yourself. Y'all feel me on this? And then the last thing that I would say is if you have fallen off the wagon, you're disappointed with your enrollments. Maybe you didn't like how July went. Maybe you don't like how August is starting. Can I just say, you can't keep complaining about it and going around that same circle, around that same mountain. It's time to go up. It's time to go north. Maybe it's not the same as boom season. Maybe you're busier. Maybe there's different factors. Maybe people quit. Maybe you had a plan and this whole thing crumbled, and maybe that. Okay, here's what you can do. Build a Ruby. This is what I'm telling my team. You're either going Ruby or you're building a Ruby every single month. My goal every month is to build 3 rubies. What does 3 rubies make? A diamond. So my goal every month is I lock arms with 3 people. Did you get 2 LCs? Good, you're my next Ruby. Okay. And I'm going to teach them and I'm going to check in on them and I'm going to connect with them. Now think of 3 more. Okay. Now let's think of 1 person to go here. Who do you think would be? And I meet them one-on-one in Messenger. Okay. Who do you think could be this? What about your spouse? Do you have a mama? Do you got a daddy? Do you got a cousin? Do you got a best friend? And I will ask them, who do you think, who comes to mind when I say this? I'm not like, go make a list and come back and tell me. I want to get this done. I'm like, let's think together right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm meeting them where they are, locking arms, and somebody will go Ruby. At least 1, if not 3, every single month. Is that going to get me to double ambassador 2.0, whatever? Nah, because my volume's at 40,000 or 40 something thousand on 2.0. So I got a giant goal and I'm far away from it. Yeah, but I don't want to lose what I've got. And I need momentum to stick around. So I find a Ruby, I build a Ruby. I find a person, I build a Ruby. I find a person, I build a Ruby. And that is something that you can do. You fill your steps to success. You're placing with that person. You're helping them think of people. Don't just do it for them. And you're building a Ruby. Now, can you build 2? Now, can you build 3? You can absolutely promote at any time of year, but you can't do it sitting around with your thumbs in your ears going, this doesn't work for me. Yes, it does. But you just have to change the way you're looking at it. Get up and do the job, friend. This is going to bless your life in a million more ways than you ever imagined. You'll get friends you didn't think you needed. You'll get a whole new mindset you didn't think you needed. You'll get a paycheck bigger than you hoped for, and you'll come out better for it. But it starts with you. Don't look at the big giant goals. Okay. Just start with where you are. Build a Ruby. You can do that. Hands down.
Oh my gosh, I could listen to you talk all night. Thank you so much again for hopping on here with us, taking time away from your family, taking time away from your team, and pouring into us. We absolutely love you. I'm so excited for you to get to go to the island. I can't wait to see all of your pictures. We're so proud of you. And again, just thank you so much for hopping on here.
You bet. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Of course. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.